Well, this was a long time coming, wasn't it? Um,
I'd say for me and you, yeah, definitely, because I've never talked about Dragon Ball on my channel like this. Like the Budokai games that we're talking about, I've never talked about them.
yeah, so obviously, I haven't talked much about Dragon Ball on my channel at all. I think, except I did the superhero review.
I think
Um,
more people will probably watch this video on your channel too because it's more, it's not as video gaming related, honestly.
but today we're going to be talking about the first three Dragon Ball Z Budokai games. We're not going to talk about Shin Budokai, Infinite World, or Tenkaichi games. Just the first three
Yeah,
Budokai.
Tenkaichi will have to be for a different day because they're completely different games.
So, for those of you who don't know, I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan.
And so am I. And you know what's funny? My mom's a Dragon Ball fan too. So I have a cooler mom than your mom if your mom doesn't watch Dragon Ball.
I've seen every episode. I own every series on DVD/Blu-ray. I have a bunch of the figure arts. I have a bunch of the games. I have a.
Yeah, see, hmm?
I have a
Go
drag.
ahead.
I'm wearing a Goku hat at the moment.
Oh, good. You see, you own a lot more Dragon Ball merchandise than I do.
I have a
I have
set
a
of
lot of.
Dragon Balls somewhere.
I have two sets. One they fell out of the thing, so fuck it. But you have a lot more Dragon Ball merchandise than I do. I just have a lot more affinity for the video game side of things and just the anime in general. So when I was a kid, and that's when I started watching it more. It was around the Boo arc when this came out. Dragon Ball Z Budokai for the PlayStation 2, and it was supposed to come out on Dreamcast, but you know what happened to the Dreamcast? Yeah. That's why the game looks so graphically dated, because it was being built for that first, I believe. Weird, right?
I thought it looked pretty good for the time.
Yeah, for the PS2 in the first, what, 2-3 years? Not bad.
It was 2002. Don't compare this to Kingdom Hearts. It's not fair.
I was about to do that, but I was gonna kind of like defend Dragon Ball here. Is that it was publisher Atari, and let's be honest, Atari financially probably wasn't the biggest at the time.
So, the thing about Dragon Ball Z Budokai is that it goes from the Saiyan saga to the Cell saga. The reason
Yes.
for that is in America, we weren't even close to done with the Buu saga.
Which kind of sucks. I would have loved to see the Boo Saga like in cutscene form in that engine, you know?
I don't even think Majin Buu had shown up yet in America.
I think he did. Because when I was playing Budokai, I was like, I want to play as Boo! Where? And then Budokai 2 came out. We'll talk about that later. But,
like maybe when like the day it came out, Boo wasn't out, but maybe when you got it, Boo had shown up.
yeah, they did include the Great Saiyan Man, so obviously they did have plans for the Boo arc.
I think that got cut because in America we hadn't really gone through Boo yet.
What, Great Saiyan Man?
No, I mean, I think they cut all the Boo stuff out.
Yeah.
Because we hadn't gotten to Boo yet in America.
Yeah. So for us, we probably were just about near Babbity's ship before Boo.
Like, cause
if they had Great Saiyan Man, they're definitely past season 7.
Yeah. Like, there's no aside from Gohan, there's no Super Saiyan 2, there's no Super Saiyan 3, there's no Majin Vegeta, there's no Boo, there's no Super Spirit Bomb. Anything you remember from the Boo saga, you're just not gonna see it here.
I mean, unless you count Cell using the Super Spirit Bomb in Budokai 1, kind of.
It was just called Spirit Bomb.
Well, yeah. But it might as well have been a Super Spirit Bomb because it was pretty big.
I mean, that's called Large Spirit Bomb now.
Oh my god. And don't forget Gallic Cannon.
Oh my god, they called it Gallic Cannon.
Yeah, and they didn't fix it for the HD remasters. Now it's actually just an inside, not really inside joke, but now it's an in-universe joke in, like, Xenoverse 2. You can get Gallic Gun or Gallic Cannon. I was like, bro.
I'm not going to really go over the story because it's the story of Dragon Ball.
It's very abridged, and the way they set it up is you mostly play it through Goku's perspective, and you have to get the rest of the story. I put that in quotes because there isn't a ton of it.
when you first play through the game, you don't really see what Vegeta does. You don't really see what Piccolo does, aside from like one or two fights where you play as Piccolo.
Yeah.
Like you mainly see the story from Goku's point of view until you beat the game. Well, you beat Cell, and then you unlock more story. It's weird.
Yeah, you get some sides, like you can get some what if scenarios. The weirdest one is when Cell absorbs Krill and it becomes this midget like Cell Junior, and you can play as him only in that mission. It's weird they had a few characters that they just omitted as being playable, like Cybermen, Cell Junior, and then that thing that Cell turned into.
Speaking of the roster, let's go over it, shall we?
Yeah, and also, we I don't know if we mentioned this game also came out on the GameCube and not the original Xbox. I don't know why it didn't come out on the Xbox. It would have been the perfect platform.
Because in Japan, nobody gave a fuck about the Xbox.
Well, what about American audiences? I mean, look at Monster Hunter World. I mean, they didn't release it in Japan on the Xbox, but they did release it over here.
Japan didn't really start doing Xbox games really until the next generation,
which is sad.
Like my Dragon Ball games, the first Dragon Ball game that really came out on Xbox was Burst Limit.
But wait, if they didn't want to put any of the Budokai games, high quality games on there, then why did they put Sagas on Xbox then? Why did they put the pieces?
Because that was an American-made game.
Oh, no wonder why. Okay, all right, that makes sense.
Let's go over the roster here.
I just wanted to say that the GameCube version, though, don't get it. Just get the PS2 version.
It looks better, but it controls like garbage.
Yeah, especially with the GameCube HD Eon, it looks great. But other than that, it controls worse. It makes the Cell final boss fight damn near impossible. I did do it, but every time I do it, the game freezes during the credits. So fuck me.
So we have. This isn't in like continuity order. This is in just I have the list in front of me so I can remember.
Oh, good. I was going to say, how are you going to name all those characters off?
I got the list for all the games in front of me. So Android 16.
Mm-hmm.
Android 17.
Mm-hmm.
Android 18.
They did not have 19 in Budokai 1. Or no, any.
No,
19. You can't play as 19.
Yeah,
no, you can't play as 19 in 1, but you do fight him.
No, you can play as him.
Are you sure?
Positive.
I swear to God, I could never. I've never played as Android 19.
No, you can play as him. His ultimate is Drain Life, his life drain, and he throws.
In Budokai 1.
Yeah, he's in Budokai 1.
Was he in 2 and 3?
No, he was not.
Oh, that's so weird. I don't know why I don't remember 19. Anyway, sorry.
19 is only in Budokai 1. Captain Ginyu. Cell, who has his base form, his second form, his perfect form, and the big muscle form he took against Gohan once.
Yeah, for only like a good 10 seconds and then just got fucking...
I don't know why they even bothered putting that in the game. But...
Well, because it was he can't get it through normal means. So I think they just wanted to make it like the final battle is him in that situation.
Which is weird, because you can actually transform into that, and his face changes on his life bar, but his model doesn't. It's weird.
Yeah, he's like super perfect Cell, right?
It's called Perfect Form Power Weighted in this game, but...
I never understood that as a kid until I got to that point in the anime when I watched it years later. I was like, that's where that came from.
Then we have Midoriya, who is also never in the sequel. He's only in this one.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then we have Frieza, who has his base form and his final form, not second or third.
I don't blame them for the time.
But then there's 100% in Metal Frieza. So.
Yeah. Metal Frieza is kind of cool.
And then, of course, we have the main character, Goku. So we have him in his base form, Kaioken ×2, which they call King Kai Fist. It's weird. So they have him in Kaioken ×2, ×5, ×10, and Super Saiyan 1. Did you die, Alex?
No. I'm just listening.
And then we have Great Saiyaman. So Great Saiyaman is actually unlockable.
Yeah, the only way you can get him is to do the tournament mode on the highest difficulty. And let me tell you, its game is fucking cheap. With its AI sometimes.
We'll get there. Then we have Hercule, who for some reason has a high tension transformation.
Yeah, I don't get it. I think it's just his moments of when he has that adrenaline rush and tries to fight.
Then we have Kid Gohan, who has a potential.
Wait, whoa, you want to say that again?
We have
You
Kid
glitched
Gohan.
out.
We have Kid Gohan.
Yeah. Oh my god, you glitched out again after you said kid kid go on, you're like
Kid Gohan.
Yeah.
Unlock potential.
Uh-huh.
Did it work now?
Yes.
Okay. And then Krillin's the same thing. He's got regular potential unlocked. But then we have Nappa, Alex's favorite character.
Yay! And one thing I gotta say about the characters in this game, there's only like 3-4 types of characters in terms of play style that you get.
Well, yeah.
Because
we'll
like Kid Gohan and Krillin share the same style moveset.
Yeah. Then we have Piccolo, who has fusing with Nail and Kami as separate forms.
Well, that makes sense.
And then Raditz, Raccoon, Teen Gohan, who has Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2.
Yeah, Team Gohan is probably the best character in the game.
Then we have Tien, Trunks, who has Super Saiyan, Super Trunks, and Super Trunks 2. Then we have Vegeta, who has Super Saiyan and Super Vegeta, Yamcha, and Zarbon. But Zarbon is not in the sequels. He's only in this game.
Wow, they really were just like, fuck some of these characters, huh?
So what's weird too is the move sets in this game aren't exactly accurate.
Especially Goku's Kamehameha, it's yellow.
Yeah. Like for some reason, Cell's ultimate is Spirit Bomb, but he never did the Spirit Bomb.
Yeah. And his Kamehameha is correctly colored.
Yeah. Vegeta's ultimate is Big Bang Attack instead of Final Flash.
Which is weird.
It's supposed to be the other way around. Which they never fixed that until the Tenkaichi games.
Yeah, didn't they put Final Flash and Budokai 3 under the Dragon Rush thing?
Yeah.
That's strange.
The weirdest one to me is Gohan's ultimate is Super Kamehameha and not Father-Son Kamehameha.
Yeah, alright, so I'll be right back. Just hold on, I gotta grab something.
He's got to grab something. So aside from the roster, we have multiple arenas that are based directly on the show. I'm not going to go much over those. They are what you expect to see from the series. The main focal point, though, of the game is its story mode. Story mode spans 3 sagas. The way they label it is the Saiyan, Namek, and Android sagas. And you go through, each fight is presented as an episode from the show. But they cut a lot of content. Obviously, it's a video game, it's not the anime, you're not going to be able to see everything. But they cut certain scenes out that you would like them to keep in. Like, for example, they cut the Gallic Gun Kamehameha duel, which is one of the most iconic moments in the Vegeta battle. And it's just gone.
Wait, what are you talking about? I'm back.
I'm talking about the story mode, how they cut certain scenes out you would never expect them to cut. Like when Vegeta fights Goku and they do the Kamehameha Gallic Gun duel.
Oh yeah, that scene where the beam struggle?
Yeah, and it's just gone. It's just gone in this game.
I don't know why it would be gone. I never thought about that.
Or like, when Goku first becomes a Super Saiyan. In the anime, the planet's not about to be destroyed yet. What he does in the game, it looks like the planet's about to be destroyed.
Yeah. They
And
just
like
they don't have any in between middle ground. It's just Namek or destroyed Namek.
and like he's already shirtless when he's supposed to have the blue shirt on,
Yeah,
and it's weird.
it's just some weird story errors that they didn't think about, or they just were like, eh.
One of the biggest misses of the story mode for me is that you don't play as Trunks ever.
In the story, you don't.
Yeah, you never once play as Trunks.
That's kind of weird. I never thought about that.
And you probably should, given how important he is.
Nah.
You can't play as him in the story mode of any game besides Budokai 2.
And that game's not even a proper story mode.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
But the soundtrack, however, is awesome.
In the original game, that is.
We'll get to the HD remasters at the end, but the original soundtrack is fantastic.
Yeah, it's iconic, honestly. Some of it I still remember.
Graphically, it's pretty good for a first era PS2 game, but the
Yeah.
gameplay, honestly, is kind of clunky.
Yeah, it doesn't hold up as well as it did back then, but it gets the job done, I guess you could put it.
It's not a bad fighting game by any means.
It's just aged.
Yeah. Doing some of the moves is awkward. Like, it doesn't feel like why do I have to do a combo before I throw a spirit bomb? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's kind of a weird combo sometimes too.
why do I have to punch 4 times before I can do the Kamehameha? I should just be able to throw a Kamehameha.
Yes, that is kind of annoying. And even if you try doing it from far away, like it would only just like blast what's right in front of you.
Yeah, it doesn't go far. But I mean, it was a good first attempt, but we hopefully would get a better game in the sequel, and we do and we don't at the same time.
Yeah, Budokai 2 is a very strange sequel. I was like, what the hell with the story?
So before we get to the storyline, the fact that we have to talk about the story is weird.
And this is the last Budokai game released on Nintendo platform.
There's a lot more to this one. They had a lot of mechanics. A lot of mechanics.
Yeah, like it's smoother.
It is it is smoother. The gameplay is improved.
And graphically, it looks pretty good.
It looks a bit better.
Yeah.
Now let's go over the roster. So this time we have we have Goku again, and this time he has all the forms. Instead of having like 7 Kaiokens, he just has 1. So much better.
Yeah.
But then he has Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2, and Super Saiyan 3. So he has all of his forms from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, basically all the Buu saga is in this.
Yep. And then we have Teen Gohan, who we have base Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2. Kid Gohan got cut. Kid Gohan is not in this one.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. But we do
it's
have
been a long time, so I don't remember who was cut and who wasn't.
We do have just Gohan, who is Buu Saga Gohan, who has base Super Saiyan 2, and Ultimate Gohan, which in this game is called Elder Kai Unlockability.
Huh.
We also have the Great Saiyaman.
Of course.
And new to this one, we have Videl.
Yeah, she has a very stupid stipulation to unlock. You have to beat Majin Buu when he has the Gohan form with Hercule.
Good fucking luck.
I pulled it off. Don't know how.
I'm going to talk about a story about how I unlocked, because I have a 100% save file in this game. I'll talk about that in a little bit. There's a cheat you can do.
Yeah.
Hercule, which also has high tension again. Piccolo's the same forms of the first game. Krillin does not have unlocked potential anymore.
No?
No.
Why?
I don't know. Yamcha is back. Tien is back. They added the Supreme Kai, so that was cool.
I didn't even... I forgot he was in 2.
Deborah is now in this, who has a transformation called Demonic Will. Why the hell does he have a transformation?
Because in the Boo arc, there's a moment where he meditates and he gains more power.
Is that what that's based on?
Yeah. When he comes back to fight, he's a lot stronger.
Then we have 3 forms of Boo. They split him into 3. So Majin Buu is Fat Buu.
Yeah.
Super Buu is the form that Gray Buu takes after he absorbs the Fat Buu. So that's Super Buu. I'll talk about all of Super Buu's forms in a minute because he has a lot of. We'll get there.
I thought Gray Boo was gonna be in this because you see his icon in the single player, but obviously it's scripted.
Gray Boo's not in any game until Tenkaichi.
Nope. Basically.
Kid Buu. If you don't know who Kid Buu is, I don't know what you'd be doing in your life.
Yeah.
Android 20, who is Dr. Gero. Cell, but Cell only has his perfect form.
And then there's Frieza, right?
Next is Android 18.
Makes sense.
Then Android 17 and Android 16. Then Frieza, who is only in his final form.
Which is weird to me. I don't like that they took out certain transformations. Like, why?
Then we have Captain Ginyu and Raccoon. They mentioned the other members of the Ginyu Force, but they're not in the game.
Yeah, they're never in Budokai. I don't believe any other Ginyu people other than Ginyu and Raccoon are in the Budokai games.
They never are. For some reason, it's only Ginyu and Raccoon, and I don't get that.
So you don't even get dedicated battle to them for story purposes.
No. So then we have Vegeta, who has... Super Vegeta is gone, but he has Super Saiyan 2 and Majin Vegeta. Then we have Kid Trunks, who is Super Saiyan. Then we have Trunks, who is Future Trunks. But Super Trunks was gone, is cut, and they gave him Super Saiyan 2.
And he didn't even canonically have Super Saiyan 2 until Dragon Ball Super. In the Buu arc.
Until Super.
Yeah, he got it. Have you played the DLC for Kakarot?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, basically it basically tells you how we got an ascension from Super Saiyan to that.
Well, if we ever talk about Kakarot, we'll get there. Then we have Goten, who is based in Super Saiyan. Now that's not the whole roster, because through a new mechanic, which is fusion, you can fuse in this game. You can become Gotenks.
And this game probably had the most fun with the transformations, I think.
Gotenks was base Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 3. Tiensha, which is a what-if fusion of Tien and Yamcha.
Oh, God. Yeah, I remember that.
Gokul, who is
he fires a beam out. He fires a beam out of his asshole.
Budokai, which is, it is what it is.
Wait, really?
Yeah, Budokai.
I didn't know you could do that. I must
have never. The most powerful character in the game is Vegito.
Is Gogeta in this?
Gogeta is not in this. No. So the most powerful character in the game is Vegito. And if you transform into him, you're just gonna win.
Yeah, and the hardest character to fight in that game is probably Kid Buu. I had a hard time with him.
We'll get to the story mode in a minute. Vegito has base and Super Vegito. Now I want to go back to Super Buu. So Super Buu has his base form. He can absorb Piccolo. He can absorb Gotenks. He can absorb Gohan. All of those happen in the series.
They never brought back the Piccolo transformation.
No. But then he has 3 what-ifs. Or 4. 4, actually. He has one where he absorbs Vegeta.
He sounds really weird, too, when he talks.
He has one where he absorbs Tien and Yamcha. One where he absorbs Frieza. And one where he absorbs Cell. What?
It's funny. It's funny with Yamcha or TM. Like he's like, "Oh no!"
So I'm just
when it
like,
goes over.
where did these? Why are these forms? I remember when I got there in the story mode, he absorbed Cell. I was like, what?
Yeah, it's just so bizarre.
Speaking of that, the story mode is so not accurate it hurts.
Yeah, it really makes me confused. Like, what the hell were they trying to do?
So the game story mode follows Goku. Okay, fine. On a board game.
Yeah, and it's randomized with like how many spaces you can go to.
So you have a board game where Goku and one or sometimes two other people have to go fight bad guys. Like for the beginning of the game starts with Nappa and Raditz. What?
Yeah, that was weird. I'm like, wait,
What?
it should have just been Raditz, but no, Nappa's there before Vegeta.
But you don't see Vegeta until you get to Namek, and for some reason Goku already knows him.
You don't fight Vegeta before that?
You don't see Vegeta until Namek, and for some reason Goku already knows him.
What the fuck?
But then, like, after that, you go to a snow level, and for some reason Frieza's there?
Yeah, I don't remember the fucking snow level and why. What was that supposed to be?
It's supposed to be like, Muscle Tower from Dragon Ball.
I mean the story scenario. What the hell was it?
There, for, like, Frieza had sent Raditz and Nappa to find the Dragon Ball. And now you're like, okay, I'm gonna go beat up Frieza. For some reason, Frieza's just there. He's already in his final form, and he brought Ginyu and Raccoon with him.
So is this like its own new take on the story?
Yeah, I think so.
Because there's no way this is like completely accurate at all.
And then for some reason after that they go to Namek. And Vegeta's there?
Yeah, and then for some reason Kid Trunks can appear there.
Yeah, and then like you defeat Frieza and you come back to Earth, and there are Cybermen and Dr. Gero, then the androids show up, and then Cell shows up, all in one level. Then there's like 3 or 4 different levels in a row about Majin Buu. So the bulk of the story is Majin Buu.
Yeah. That stays fairly more accurate.
No, it doesn't!
Well, compared to the other shit.
They bring back Cell and Frieza!
Oh yeah, when they're in the hyperbolic time chamber, Cell and Frieza are there.
Cell and Frieza are there, and like you're in a city, and Gohan's there, but Vegito can show up before Buu absorbs Gohan.
Yeah, and then if you have Hercule playable, then you could
You'll become
do
Goku
that.
instead. But why would you be Goku over Vegito?
Well, because you might want to unlock Videl, but that's not worth it, and you can explain why at the end.
And then, like, you do go to Supreme Kai's planet.
Yeah, this is probably the only.
That's a little
accurate part in the game.
Yeah, because you fight Buu on Namek on Supreme Kai's world. That's accurate. But you can bring whoever you want with you. And the only ones that would make sense, the only person that you should be able to bring is Vegeta. That's the only, and maybe Hercule, because that would be the most accurate scenario.
Why would they let you bring anybody? That's ridiculous. But
like you could be adult Gohan in the first level, but you can't use Teen Gohan. You can't use Teen Gohan in the story mode. But you have to be Kid Trunks on Namek to unlock Future Trunks.
How does that work? Like I understand if they did that on the one fucking Cell one, but not that. Oh man, the story.
It makes it's actually if you have 2 people around and you just switch controllers every time another character goes, it's actually kind of fun to strategize. Like, all right, I'm gonna go after this guy. You go this way to find that item, and I'll go take care of this guy. You go find the Dragon Ball. That's actually kind of fun. I won't lie.
I want to do that. It actually sounds kind of fun.
But you have to play the story mode so many times to unlock everything. It's obnoxious.
Yeah, like you can't unlock a character and then lock another one.
So what you can do is you can go to the shop, hold down the 4 trigger buttons, and it unlocks everything in the shop, and you just keep doing that, and you'll unlock everything.
Now, is this a bug, do you think, or do you think this was completely intentional?
No, that's a bug, because they patched it out of the GameCube version.
Real? Oh my god. Well, that makes sense.
In the first version of the PS2 version, you just go in the shop, hold down the triggers, you'll unlock everything in the shop, and you just keep doing that, and you'll eventually unlock everything in the game.
I can't believe I never even thought to push the buttons like that.
I just started doing that, and then I went to my rare menu, and I saw Boo there, and then this there. I was like, when did I unlock these people?
That's fucking weird, man.
So I never had to unlock Bobity's spaceship. I never had to do the Hercule fusing with Goku thing. I never had to fight Buhan as Hercule. I never had to do all the stupid nonsense. I just cheated.
If you had to do the stupid nonsense, you would have hated this game a lot more. Trust me.
Yeah, I never did that, but I don't really like the game all that much anyway because of the story.
If you and I were to sit down and play it, we'd probably go through and try to do everything just out of sheer curiosity.
We would hate ourselves.
Oh, of course, but that's what having marijuana is for, and beer. But you don't do either one, so you're a good boy. I'm bad.
I mean, I like some of the mechanics, and the move sets for the characters are actually more accurate.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I don't drink alcohol.
They changed the mechanic to where you don't have to do punch, 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 circle. You can just hit forward, circle, Kamehameha. Brilliant. That's such a good fix.
And then circle back for the secondary special too.
Yeah, they fixed that mechanic, but you still have to do a combo for the ultimate.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. Honestly, I don't mind that.
They changed that in 3 too.
Yeah, for the worse, I think.
Better and for worse.
It's a weird thing, but Budokai 2,
it's better in some ways and worse in others.
It's a very polarizing game, and there's a reason why it probably wasn't included.
Generally speaking, it's the least popular of the.
There's a reason why it probably wasn't in the HD collection, but again, keep going.
Next, we have up until I want to say 2008.
2007 for Tenkaichi. No, Tenkaichi 3 was 07.
No, up until 2018, I want to say this was my favorite Dragon Ball game. Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3.
I thought you were about to say, like, the best one until this game, but go on.
Up until Fighters, Budokai 3 was my favorite Dragon
Ball. I probably rather enjoy Budokai more.
Well, good for you. You're wrong. Anyway.
Well, I don't care for that style of fighting games, to be honest.
Budokai 3 takes everything that the first 2 games did and makes them infinitely better.
Oh yeah, like the story, it's actually pretty good.
We'll get there in a minute. I want to talk about the roster first. There are some things in here I was not expecting.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of content in this game.
So we have Goku, who has all of his previous forms from Budokai 3 and Super Saiyan 4.
Yeah, I remember seeing that in the opening cutscene.
I was like,
him turning into that. I was like, what the hell?
When I first saw the magazine, I saw Super Saiyan 4, I was like, they're putting GT in this?
I didn't know what GT was at the time, I don't think, or I just didn't watch GT.
So next up, this one blew my mind when I unlocked it. Kid Goku.
That was a cool addition.
They put in Goku from the original Dragon.
Yeah, that was actually really cool.
That was insane. Kid Gohan is back.
Yes.
So great.
They didn't really cut any characters this time.
They did not bring back Doria or Zarbon.
Yeah, or there has to be, or no, yeah, that's true. Trying to think of other characters, but I can't.
Teen Gohan back, and he's got the same forms he did before. Gohan's back, he has the same forms he did before. Great Saiyaman's back, Goten's back. Vegeta has all of his previous forms, plus Super Saiyan 4. So Super Saiyan 4 for Vegeta too.
You can get Majin Vegeta too through a special like way of equipping something.
Yeah, it's a capsule you got to put on him.
Yeah. It's kind of risky because you end up being left with only 1 bar of health to fight as Majin Vegeta.
Yeah, I kind of just wish he was a separate character slot altogether. But
yeah, me too.
Then we have Kid Trunks, regular Trunks, Krillin, Piccolo. They're all back, and you can actually unlock King Piccolo as an alternate costume for regular Piccolo.
If you have the greatest hits version, at least, and the HD version.
Yep. Tien, Yamcha, Hercule, Videl, they're all back. Oob is in this. They added Oob.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting. I was like, ooh, like more story characters.
The Supreme Kai is back. Raditz, Nappa, Ginyu, Raccoon. Freeze is back, and he has every single one of his forms, except for Golden Frieza, because that wasn't a thing.
And we have Cybermen and Cell Jr. finally playable.
Yep. Then we have Android 16, 17, 18, Dr. Gero. Android 19 is not back.
Yeah, I understand why.
Cell has all of his forms, and he has Super Perfect Cell now.
Yeah, he doesn't have the buff form anymore.
No, but he has Super Perfect Cell, which is better.
One stage they brought in that I was like really thought was cool was the Red Ribbon base, and we'll talk about that later. But
so then we have Majin Buu.
Cool addition.
We have Majin Buu, Super Buu. Super Buu does not have his What If forms anymore. It's just the canon form. So Piccolo, Gotenks, and Gohan. They're all.
I imagine that just was annoying for people, so that's why they got rid of it.
Yeah, Kid Buu's back. Deborah's back. They added Bardock, which I thought was cool.
I'm not sure if they had plans with Bardock or if that was just a fan service character.
He was just a fan service character.
Yeah, kind of like how Burst Limit had Bardock and Broly.
Next up, we have Cooler. So they're bringing movie characters in, which is interesting.
Yeah, that was actually kind of cool.
Haha!
But
Cooler has his base form, his final form, and he has Metal Cooler. The character they hyped the ever-living fuck out of was Broly.
I remember seeing him in the top left corner or of the screen. I was like, "Oh my god, he looks pretty cool. I want to play as him."
Yeah, Broly's in here as he doesn't have a base form. He just has Super Saiyan and Legendary Super Saiyan.
How do you unlock him again?
You have to you have to do something in Goku's story.
You do have to beat it at least once, right?
Yeah, and then the hardest character to unlock is Omega Shenron.
Kind of. Yeah, beat the game.
He's the one that takes the most effort to unlock.
Yeah, because I won't say he's hard nowadays if you know what to do.
And then you have the fusion characters. So Gotenks is back, Vegito is back, Budokai is back, and they added Gogeta in Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 4. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is absolutely busted.
Yeah, and he has a time limit too, so...
he has a time limit, but if he hits you with his ultimate, you are going to die.
Yeah, and if there's a big enough hit with your ultimate, you can sometimes destroy a big part of the planet that you're fighting on. That's
I love that effect. It's so cool.
That was in Budokai 1 as well, but it wasn't as cool. But this game, it makes like an extra cutscene that's like, holy shit.
In Budokai 1, it just kind of happens. In Budokai 3, it's like, boom!
Like you see a mushroom explosion, or you just see a Kamehameha friggin' just flying out across the planet.
It's so cool.
Oh, I love it.
But yeah, no, Gogeta Super Saiyan 4 is freaking unstoppable.
Yeah, we have so Gogeta, really cool addition. And then The hardest, again, well, like you said, hardest, the most pain in the ass character to unlock, I would say, is probably Omega Shenron because you have to beat the game once, and then you
Well,
have to only get six. You have to get 6 Dragon Balls, and then
let's
you beat the
let's actually talk about that. So
right?
let's talk about the story mode. The story mode in this game is a lot better than Budokai 2's.
It's the best of the Budokai series.
In this game, it's called Dragon Universe, and you could play as, I believe, 13 characters in there, and
Yeah.
you fly around a world map, and you find missions, you find Dragon Balls, you find items, and you actually follow the story.
Relatively abridged here and there, but
It's less abridged the Budokai 1's story, to be fair. It's
yeah,
less abridged, but there are no cutscenes.
yeah, that was disappointing. But with the amount of content they had actually with just the gameplay, I don't think they had enough time to do that and do full out cutscenes in good quality.
But
So I think this is probably a better choice.
They have more fights in this game. There's no, to my knowledge, it's not every character that fought on the roster has a fight in the game. Like, they don't cut any fights of the characters that are in the game.
Which is pretty damn neat.
Yeah, so
Very
like
neat.
go
Well,
and there's
other than maybe actually no. What about Kid Goku and Bardock? They're not playable. They're not fightable.
they're not part of the story, but
Oh,
they're more just like extra. They're actually Kid Goku was supposed to have a story.
there's actually also a special character for Budokai 2 that was only given away at an event where you could get Cooler as an alternate skin for Frieza.
You can also unlock Frieza's son.
What?
Frieza's son was an alternate character in Budokai 2.
What?
Yeah. Well, let that sink in. Frieza got down.
You need to send me a link or picture to this. What?
I'll show you that later. Not only is the story in here, there's also a ton of what if scenarios.
Yeah, there's
They
like
make
one.
they fit Super Saiyan 4 into the Dragon Ball Z story.
It's kind of stupid how they do it, but
It just kind of happened.
yeah. Goku says he has a splitting headache, and then he just transforms into it.
Like, they fit Cooler on Namek. Instead of fighting Frieza, you go fight Cooler.
Yeah.
And then Frieza gets killed by Vegeta instead. And then, like, instead of fighting Majin Buu, you fight Broly, and then Vegeta goes and defeats. But then, like, you have to go fight Gotenks as Gogeta. And then after you do all that nonsense, kind of broken Dragon Radar, and then you go fight Omega Shenron.
Yeah, some of the characters though that you play as, like some of their endings aren't canonical. Like with Piccolo, at the end of his, you fight Super Buu. He never does that in the story.
No, I think that was supposed to represent when he and Goten called Time Chamber with Buu.
Yeah.
The only endings that actually happen are Goku's ending is canon. His main ending is canon.
Yeah, if you use you have to at least use this Super Spirit Bomb on Kid Buu once. You don't have to kill him with it. You just gotta use it on him once.
And you have to make sure that you get it off and he doesn't defend it, otherwise it's not going to work.
I did not know that.
Yeah, you have to make sure, like, you know how you can they have that bar that goes through, and if he blocks it, it won't work. You have to actually hit him with it.
Wow.
So
I remember for a while I was like, how do I do this?
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Vegeta's ending is sort of canon, because I think in his ending, Goku still defeats Buu.
I don't know what happened in Vegeta's story, to be honest.
Teen Gohan's ending is canon because he.
One place I thought was cool that they should have had in future games was the inside of Boo's head.
It's the only game that's in, yeah.
It's really cool. I love the design of it.
Broly has a story mode, which is weird.
Yeah, it's just his own story. Like, it's not canon at fucking all.
It's sort of based on the second Broly movie, Sort of.
Except you can run into Vegeta. So
I think there's a what if where you do fight Goku, but
you fight Goku, and I think you win, or I think you still lose in the end. I don't know.
The main ending is he gets killed by Gohan, but
yeah, but then you can actually have an ending where it's like Broly went on to destroy this and that. I think.
Yeah. So
it's like, oh my god.
But there's a lot of content in the story mode, and I could spend a whole video dissecting every little thing. But they clearly put a lot of work into the story mode despite having no cutscenes. They put as much as they can in there.
We didn't mention the Dragon Balls, how they work in Budokai 1, 2, and 3.
So, you're right. So, you can collect the Dragon Balls in these games. Getting it in 1 is stupid, don't ever bother.
Yeah, you have to go into the shop and leave and check. It's stupid. I've done it. Trust me.
Well, you know what else we never talked about? The World Tournament mode.
Oh my god, the World Tournament mode. I was referencing that earlier on in the video, and you said we'll get to that, and we never did. So let's say, all right, the World Tournament in Budokai 1 is fucking bullshit. Okay, because Budokai 2 and 3 fixed this.
The tournament mode is you pick a character and you go through the World Tournament, and it has 3 levels: Novice, Adept, and Advanced.
Advanced is absolutely brutal.
But that's the only one you want to ever do, because that's where you get the most money.
Yeah, and that's how you unlock, what's his name? Great Saiyaman.
And Hercule.
Really?
Huh. Hercule's unlocked in the Adept World Tournament in the first game.
Okay, well, I was going to say the advanced one is for Great Saiyaman. I know that.
Yeah, advanced
I did pull it off once, and I never wanted to do it again.
Adept is for Hercule. But it's a lot better in 2 and 3. A lot better. And in 3, you can unlock the Cell games.
Here's what's the problem with Budokai 1. Because there's no safe zone in the tournament. Like, every area is an out-of-bounds area that can fuck you over, and the arena is small. Budokai 2 and 3 would have a wall, at least, that you could probably get yourself up to keep yourself from going out. And we forgot to mention one little extra mode that was in Budokai 1.
The Hercule mode? The Hercule mode?
Something starring our champion of the world.
Yeah, each game has like a special mode, and Hercule's as he goes through, fights all the heroes, and actually wins.
And there's different difficulty modes.
I did it once, and I never bothered.
I did every one. I tried. I don't remember if I actually beat the hardest difficulty. I thought maybe you'd get something extra, but no, you don't. It just...
The second game's extra mode is Bobby's spaceship.
And you just have to keep doing battles and battles and battles. Just get that meter going, and eventually you'll unlock a Majin Buu. Then just keep fighting. It's not very... It's just weird. It's not very intuitive. I don't know how to explain it.
The third games is Dragon Arena.
I love Dragon Arena.
You can level up the characters, you can equip them with items and make them stronger. It's really cool. And that's how you
it carries over the mechanic from the story mode where you can level them up there. So if you ever want to go through the story mode again, you will absolutely destroy everything by the time you're done maxing your characters out in Dragon Arena.
And also the moves in this game are so much better than they ever have been. The effects are better. They look better. All the attacks are awesome in this one.
I have one thing to say about Dragon Arena that's actually funny now, in retrospect, that I've finally watched all of Dragon Ball, is the General. He has a bandage on his head from when he got shot in Dragon Ball. So he's still alive.
I think my favorite attack in this game is Bardock Ultimate. He never does that in the series, but it's one of the cool...
What does he do?
It's Spirit of Saiyans. And, he channels the power of all of his friends into his hand, and he just hits the dude in the stomach, and the fucking planet explodes.
Dude.
It's so cool. Look it up. It's badass.
So there's 2 different kinds of specials, right? You have your combo special, and then you have your Dragon Rush special.
So you have, every character, they cut out 2 types of capsules. So in the first game, you had red, blue,
yellow,
green, and black capsules.
Yeah, yellow was for healing items, I believe, or was that green? I think it was green.
Green was like special. Blue was combo. Red was energy attacks, and then black was characters and arenas.
Breakthroughs. Oh yeah, breakthroughs are what the Dragon Balls are used for. If you really want to be
Budokai
smart with your
3
witches.
has red, green, or is it yellow? I think it's red, yellow, and black. They cut it down, so all your specials are now just red counters.
Yeah, so you'd think you'd want to get breakthrough, obviously for Budokai 1, of course. But things in Budokai 3, if you want to level up your character like to the most effective way possible in the Dragon Arena, you don't want that. You want to have as very little special attacks as possible and just give
But
yourself this.
if you're playing in like multiplayer, yeah, go ahead and put on.
Yeah, you have to put something on, and it'll just be like it gives you way more experience than usual.
Yep.
It's like a
Or you'll get
multiplier.
or you get more money, or more something.
It's like power or something like that.
One a significant addition to this game is the hyper mode.
I am not a fan of it.
So you basically just go like, oh, and you turn red, right? The thing about hyper mode is you're only going to use it for two reasons. One, to do a dragon rush, which I'll get to. One, to use your ultimate attack. I'm fine with the ultimate attack being you could just hit a button and just do it. I'm fine with that.
Because this game is a lot faster than Budokai 1 and 2 because you can dodge things very fast.
And in the actual series, I don't need to do punch, kick, uppercut to throw a spirit bomb. I can just go throw a spirit bomb. In this game, you can just hit one button and do a spirit bomb. Great. More accurate. The problem is, as soon as you hit hyper mode, they're going to run away from you until your hyper meter mode goes down and you're out of ki.
Yeah, you're shit out of luck because your stamina drops to 0, your ki drops to 0.
Your best bet, max ki, hit hyper mode, transform right in front of the guys so they're stunned, and then hit him. Otherwise, you're not going to do it.
Yeah, because either it'll break his guard or it'll knock him into the air, and then when he gets right back down, bam, hit him with it.
Exactly. So then you're set.
And you can. And one thing we didn't mention as a mechanic is if you can hold the R2 or L2 button, I forget which one it is, you can like charge up your attack so it'll break through any enemy's guard.
Yep.
That shit helps out a lot. I never used it as a kid.
They also added beam struggles in this game. They added beam struggles. It's so cool.
Yeah, see, it's cool. You have to rotate your analog sticks as fast as you can, but then when you realize years later that you can easily rip the rubber off your thumbsticks and wear the shit out of them, because when my friend Seth and I played Budokai 3 again, around 2011 or 2012, my left thumbstick rubber ripped off.
You don't really do beam struggles in games.
We like to always just like go to the opposite ends, power up, and become Super Saiyan 4, Vegeta and Goku, and then just
Final Shine and Big Ben 10 times.
Yeah, we just do that, and we just beam struggle. We always thought that was so cool. I mean, Tenkaichi you could do the same thing, but that was a lot more difficult to pull off. So anyway, back to Budokai.
And also the Dragon Rush. I hate it. I hate the Dragon Rush.
It's complete and utter RNG.
It is. And the stupid part is Special Beam Cannon, Warp Kamehameha, Final Flash, and some other attacks are locked behind the Dragon Rush.
I know Big Bang Attack is, or something similar to it.
No, Final Flash is.
Yeah, and depending on how good you do in it, you get different kind of endings with your special attacks, I believe.
Yep, you do.
See, either you can hit the enemy, do good, or you'll
miss.
Do this thing. They'll block you and then knock you down, or you guys will hit the same button and it'll just like do a quick like punch and kick flurry attack, and then it'll just go back to normal.
I hate it. Like, why they did that Dragon Rush? Why couldn't you just have two ultimate attacks? What's wrong with that?
Yeah, yeah. Like hold. You have to pretty back then. They would be like,
hold L2 for one ultimate, R2 for the other. Problem solved.
Yep. Yeah, back then they were like, you have to hold square, triangle, circle at the same time, and X to activate it. They should have said just use R2 or L2.
Yeah. So what you could have done, for example, with Goku, L2 for Spirit Bomb, R2 for Warp Command. Problem solved.
That makes sense, though.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. We can't have that.
No, you know this. But if Budokai 3 ever got remade in the modern day, which I don't think it ever will, they really should just get rid of that mechanic.
But even today, this is still a solid fighting. It still feels good to play.
Yeah, if you play it on the PS2, graphically, the PS2, it's just because of the PS2, and it can't even with component cables, the red RGB cables, it looks blurry still and kind of muddy in some areas. But
yeah,
that's where the HD collection comes in, and it cleans up Budokai 1 pretty damn well. Like, it looks weird in 16:9. I'm not gonna lie, but like, it's a pretty damn good version of the game. They didn't alter really anything except the soundtrack. It's better and worse. It's better and worse in some cases.
They replaced it with Tenkaichi 2's soundtrack.
They had the same issue with the music with Raging Blast 2. So either they patched out the music or the early copies of the game have the original soundtrack.
Yeah, because I got Raging Blast 2 later on, and it had Tenkaichi 2 soundtrack, and it bugs the hell out of me.
It just does not fit.
No. It fits the Tenkaichi 2, but not Raging Blast
2. No. But yeah, so Budokai 1 is just fine. I platinumed it back in the day.
Actually, so did I. I did.
Yeah, and then Budokai 2, what's that? They didn't include that. Not sure exactly why, but other than maybe because it's the most polarizing of the three. And they're just
here's my logic.
Probably like Budokai 3 is just better in every way, so just put that.
They put in Budokai 1 for the story mode, and you play Budokai 3 for literally everything else.
Yeah, there are some people that were saying, why do you call it the Budokai HD collection if it only has 2 games? I'm like, well, it would have been cool if they put the PSP games on there, to be fair. That would have been kind of cool. But, this is the console stuff. And they left out 2 because, honestly, 3 is just better in every way. But, obviously, I would understand preservation of the game, but why would you bitch about it? It's not a big deal.
But, aside from that, the only one of these games I really play is Budokai 3. And even then, I don't play it as much as I used to.
Yeah, me neither. If it was re-released on PS4 or 5, I would probably be playing it a hell of a lot more because, honestly, I don't really feel like getting my PS2 out and hooking that up. And then, if I want to play it on my PS3, I gotta get that out and hook it up. And I mean, it may sound lazy, but it's like...
No, it's annoying. Like, it's like, I shouldn't have to plug in my PS4 to play my PS4 games. You know what I mean?
You mean PS3?
Well, I'm just using that as an example. Like, I could do that on my PS5.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, why do I have to plug in my PS3 instead of just putting it into the PS4 or 5? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, like basically, how come the PlayStation 5 cannot play PS3 games? I feel like they're working on it because I feel like Sony did say they got some engineers coming in for backwards compatibility stuff, so maybe they're going to make PS3 games native. So if that can happen, I can finally play Budokai 3 on my PS5. That'd be amazing. I don't care for this to have online multiplayer. It's just, yes. Because honestly, I'm gonna be honest, my friend for some reason thinks the PS3 controller is still the best PlayStation controller. I mean, he's wrong, but bless his heart. It's the same person I was talking about, Seth. Playing Budokai 1 or 3 with a PS5 controller would just be so much better.
But anyway, I think we're going to call it quits here.
Well, it's so hard not to talk about it, man.
But we've gone on for a while. I think it's time to say goodbye.
Yes, I'd say so too. Well, tell us what you think of the Budokai games in the comments below. Even the PSP ones Or we'd even talk about, well, this is the Budokai game, but Infinite Worlds.
We're going to save that for, we're going to do the Shin Budokai games and Infinite.
Yeah, do you want to include Burst Limit in that too? Because that's just kind of its one-off game.
I know when we're going to do that, but we'll get there.
Or that could be part of the 360 generation.
Yeah, we'll figure that one out later. But next up,
Oh no, I know what to do. Burst Limit, Raging Blast 2, and then move on. So anyway,
next time we meet, we're going to be talking about Kingdom Hearts.
All right, which ones?
We'll let them find out when we get to that video.
Oh my God, if we have to talk about every single game, you do understand this is it would be a 2 to 3 hour video.
We're not doing the entire series.
We'll do the PS2 entries, then we'll do...
Oh no, we're gonna do what first HD compilation.
Wait, what?
We're gonna talk about the ones that come on the first HD compilation.
Ah, so Kingdom Hearts 1.5. Okay, that's fair.
So we'll see you guys then.
2.5 is gonna scare me.
Anyway, take care, guys.